welcome. I'm Trish. Welcome to another Weird Wednesday rabbit hole reading. Again, I'm not sure what I want to read on today. There's a couple of things I wouldn't mind looking at what it is we're supposed to remember, following up from last week. I also was wondering, maybe I should ask about what are aliens, and we can look into that. But let's see what the cards want to read on. See where they're taking us today. Okay, what do you got a card for? So mindfulness, conscious thought, time, empath, okay, so time not being what we think it is. Perhaps they're talking about timelines. Different timelines. Okay, what do you want to read on today? What would you like to read on today? DNA. So changes to the DNA. Okay, that is getting... Okay, got you. Okay, so we're looking at today, we're following up from last week's reading because we have the eclipse energy again. So the reading we done last week on the current energies or the Schumann resonance, or there's some kind of energy coming in that could be advancing our DNA, reprogramming our DNA, or changing the narrative, because that was coming in last week. So we're getting things about changing the narrative. Now, it's also saying... empath, protect your heart, which was coming up all last week. Now I'm getting here mindfulness, conscious thought, which was the same as last week. So then that being downloads coming in on how time has been manipulated. So we've got the manipulation of time card here. So that's we're kind of really following up from last week. We're going to look into that one a little bit further. Again, we've got the fire card on the bottom, like we did last week. The fire card being energy weapons, could be war, or laser technology, because that one's also on the opposite side. Okay, so let's do a spread. I'll get these shuffled and then I'll put them on the screen so you can read along with me. Today I am recording on my camera, back to my camera, because the last couple of weeks the sound's been glitching when I've been filming from my computer. So I'm not sure why that is, but I've also got the computer running on a different screen, just in case, because sometimes the battery goes flat here or the mics go flat and I don't know. So, and then I lose the entire reading. So I've got a backup running at the same time on my computer. So if this one cuts off for some reason, then I can just stitch in the second version that I have, even though I'll be facing a different direction. Okay, so I've laid the cards for what we're talking about today, what the cards want to talk about today. Now, it seems to be all over the place. I've got to try and put this into a picture or put this into a story. So it's going to take me a little minute to download and to tap in here. So I've put the cards on the screen next to me so you can follow along with me. Now, if I'm going to be starting in the center of this spread, I'm just going to see where the cards take me today. They may take me somewhere unexpected, but I'm just going to see what they're trying to say here. First thing I'm noticing straight away is we've got two flood cards. One is the mud flood and one is the deluge, which is the flood story. So that is the great flood story. Now, what I'm thinking here with the deluge or the flood myths, they are all over different civilizations, all had stories on the floods. Whether it was the Enuma Elish or the Bible, there's stories of floods all over the world. Now, mud flood here is making me think, it says land covered over. So it's now making me think back to how we read on the different root races last week, and we talked about the Atlantean civilization ending by a great catastrophe, which could have been the flood, the Great Flood. And that would be that lands or civilizations were covered over during that time. And it was apparently where one race ended, so the next one, which is us, the fifth race, could start again. Now I'm bringing back into a V pattern here the Antarctica card. The Antarctica being perhaps some of the past civilization technology, or because I'm coming down here, we've got AI technology, so that could be saying the technology from okay, what I'm getting, the picture that I'm seeing here is that there was a cover-up of a civilization prior to ours. Now, what I wanted to talk on today, one of the things I wanted to follow up from last week is I wanted to know what it is they wanted us to open our eyes and start remembering, start getting the downloads, because we got the download card in the start of this reading. So I wanted to kind of tap into what it is they want us to see, what we are supposed to remember before we had our mind wiped, or mind wipe, I think they called it last week. Now, I'm also thinking, as I'm drifting off here, I'm thinking that one of the cards that came out was time manipulation, so time manipulation. Okay, and what I'm seeing here on the kind of like the double V pattern here is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing two floods covered over a civilization, which the technology could be in the Antarctica, because that's in the middle. Coming out to a V on this side, I'm seeing the technology from past civilizations covered over in Antarctica, held by the elites. So the elites have that technology. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm noticing in these cards. Okay, what I'm being drawn to now is the clear communication, conduit, channeling. That's just another word for channeling. So channeling, clear communication. But again, I'm seeing that eye, that big eye. Now the eye is making me think either we're being watched as a civilization, we're being watched, or there is technology around now to watch who's tapping into ancient technology or ancient information. So where and who's sharing those gifts, because I'm noticing that at the top, who's sharing those gifts. So what I'm kind of thinking here is where I said there's all this fear-based energy around at the moment, and I said something was going to happen to cause fear-based energy, because at the moment we have the opportunity to have our DNA changed or our DNA upgraded, our DNA reprogrammed. That came out last week, and it also came out at the beginning of this reading to show that this is what we need to talk on. Now what I'm seeing is last week they said that something would happen, so we couldn't tap in and have that happen. So we couldn't take advantage of repairs to our DNA or upgrades to our DNA, downloads of information, trying to remember things that had happened in the past or starting to get memories back. Now I'm seeing on these cards that there's surveillance by the elites using technology or artificial technology to check who is tapping in or channeling this information. Okay. What else can you tell me? Okay, so I wanted to know, what is it you wanted us to open our eyes to? What is it you wanted us to remember? Okay, so I'm getting here technology around Antarctica that hasn't been shared, because above that I've got share your gifts, so it's gifts of technology that have not been shared. And it's kind of like, while we can't get our hands on the technology, we may be able to tap in as a channel and get that information. Okay, again, you're bringing me back to the floods. And I'm wondering who covered it over. Who was the one that... Who? Because I was also going to ask, who are the aliens? That was another question that I wanted to ask. Who are the aliens? So now I'm thinking, who is it that covered over? Okay, let's pull a question and ask that. Who ended the last civilization? Who was it, or what was it that ended the last civilization? And I'm pulling conscious thought here. Conscious thought is just pulled out. Conscious thought. Okay, what that is making me think is, in the last couple of weeks I've been talking about energy, about protecting your energy, about keeping your vibration high. Now also, and I said something was going to happen, that they'd want our energy to be in fear-based so we couldn't take advantage of whatever it was. Now what I'm getting here is, it's just said that what caused the cataclysms was conscious thought. So what if all the civilization was in fear and putting out fear-based energy, could that cause some kind of catastrophe? Is it all just about thought? Is it all really just playing out like as dimensions or vibration, thought, vibration? So, and that's what causes our outcome. So whatever that is, whether it's a good outcome or because we had the timeline manipulation too. So putting us onto a timeline that could be the worst case scenario would require us all to be in a negative vibration. So I was picking up last week that it was very important to protect your energy, and I'm getting that again as the healer, and we also had the empath card come out this week. So I'm getting that being the healing your heart, putting out beautiful light vibration. You can see on the screen it says healer, and that's all happen in the heart. There's lots of love energy coming out of the heart. So if we can stay in that love energy, then that's going to keep us on a best case scenario timeline. Now I'm bringing timeline in because timeline was one of the original cards. It was a manipulation of time. So that could just be what timeline we go on to. It depends on conscious thought. It depends on our energy from our heart. So conscious thought and heart energy. So whatever we're putting out as a co-creator or a civilization, we're very powerful co-creators when we all put our energy together. So if the elites, because we have the elites on the board here, so if the elites want a certain outcome, then they've only got to push us into a certain vibration, fear vibration, and that will get them the outcome that they want. So put us onto that alternate timeline where it keeps us trapped, keeps us locked in. Okay, what do you have to say to that? And again, we've got the DNA Advance card, the DNA Advance. So in opposition to that, the opposing scenario would be, if we're putting out and healing and protecting our vibration, putting out good vibes, then the alternate timeline, or I don't know how that all works, it's all a physics thing, so a different direction, or perhaps what's happening in the world that plays out, if we're putting out positive energy, is a DNA advancement. So this is the second time this has come out today, and this is the second time in 2 weeks that this card has come out to say that right now in the eclipse, because we had the eclipse in the first spread that I did, so we had the eclipse energy, and the DNA. So it's bringing that back in now. So where it wanted to talk about the eclipse energy or whatever's happening with the sun, like the Schumann resonance. So, and that's why it's talking about eclipse energy or the time that we're in right now, is something to do with affecting our DNA. Okay, so it's like a breakthrough or an unlocking. So it's an unlocking of maybe certain potentials, or it's an unlocking of something. There's a possibility of unlocking something from our DNA. And that is to do with how we are putting out emotionally, but also what we're consciously thinking. Okay, so just reading back. I wanted to know what it is you wanted us to remember about perhaps the last civilization before we were mind wiped. So it's saying here there's an opportunity to share gifts through clear communication or conduit channeling. However, I am getting strong indication here, just reading back on the cards that's on the screen, that we are being watched. We are being watched as to who's tapping into that information. Now, what I'm just getting there through that by looking at the Antarctica card, I'm seeing the Star Gate or Looking Glass technology. It's almost like they're trying to look in, because we've got the big eye, they're trying to look in to see what are they trying to get. Okay, and I've just pulled HAARP or weather manipulation. So what I was thinking was Antarctic. There's some kind of technology in Antarctica, because we've got the technology card with the Antarctica, and I was trying to think, what is it they're trying to get? Like, what are they trying to get? And then the HAARP or the weather manipulation. So it's using technology to manipulate something. So maybe it's manipulating our DNA. It says weather manipulation here. Surely. I'm wondering, is that current? Like, is that's what's going on now? They've got some kind of technology that can manipulate our DNA. It's the first thing I'm thinking. Secondly, I'm thinking, what is it that they wanted to remember? Well, did they have the technology back then, weather manipulation, to cause the flood? Because that was one of the questions that I asked. Who did the flood? Who did the flood? Who caused the end of that civilization? And then this card is saying that they had the technology to manipulate weather to cause that flooding, deluge of flood. So mud flood, same thing like flooding, to cause that flood. So maybe that HAARP technology, maybe that's old technology. Okay, a negative vibration is we're going to be affected by negative vibration. This is a negative vibration. So it's saying we're going to be affected by negative vibration, and the sun changes. So that's the second time they've told us that in this reading, and in 2 weeks they've told us the same thing. So they're trying to tell me something over the last 2 weeks that is related to, let me just recap it and see what it's related to. Okay, so they're pulling out the same cards all the time. So that last week they had negative vibration was sitting there, as well as eclipse was sitting there. Now we're looking at negative vibration and sun changes, or the sun. So it's bringing me back to the sun. So it's saying, are you saying the negative vibration will cause something to the sun, or are you saying the sun is causing a negative vibration? Okay, I'm going to go to my general card just to get an answer out of that, because I need to clarify that. Okay, and here's the sun. Is the sun causing a negative vibration? Is the sun causing a negative vibration? Okay. It's got the love cards come out, so it's a love vibration, and it's a giant leap. So it's the sun, it's causing a giant leap. So there it's saying, like when I always say the universe wants to push you out of your comfort zone, wants you to make a giant step forward. So that's making me think about DNA advancement. So the sun energy is not a negative vibration, it's actually a love vibration, because we've got the love card, that's wanting us to push us forward, to push us to make an advancement is what it's wanting to make in our vibration. Okay. Is it some kind of technology in the Antarctica that is the negative vibration? Okay, so then they fill out funny, but I'm going to pull again. Is the energy is there something, technology in the Antarctic that's causing the negative vibration? Okay, there's a few cards that fell out here. Yes, is a sun card is my yes answer, but we're also speaking about the sun. Now I've got here that's trying to cause chaos or trying to make improvements. They're searching for something. So they're searching for something that is causing chaos to improvements. So improvements, again, is making me think about improvements for us, but they're trying to search for something that's going to cause chaos or turmoil to that change. Okay, is there something in these cards that you need to say? Okay, so there's a sense of feeling overwhelmed. Again, this is underwater. Underwater here, the flooding or the underwater. A feeling of being overwhelmed. Now, I know that in the Bible it says that we wouldn't go through another flood. Or there's some kind of discontent with our current situation, and I think that's just the energy that's happening right now. Okay, I'm trying to get a conclusion out of these cards. Okay. Okay, can you give me a conclusion? What's the conclusion? What are you trying to say? Now, I just need to sum it up is what I'm trying to get here. For one thing, you trying to show me what we're trying to remember. Again, they're speaking very, very strongly about advancements in DNA through vibration related to the sun. Second time. Also today, they're talking about some kind of old technology, because I've got the AI technology card here, and about being able to get a very clear channel or a very clear communication. I keep getting searching. I get the sense, I'm getting the sense, and I'm also getting a couple of cards, but I can't remember what they were, that the elites are searching for some kind of technology or some kind of way to change the outcome. Okay, tell me why that you've given me 2 flood cards here, please. Why have I got 2 flood cards? At the end of a generation. So this says new generation. So they're just telling me that that's and the Anunnaki race. So that they're just telling me that it was how their last civilization ended. So the end of that last civilization. Again, it's all about control technology. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all these cards back in, because I think this is a really important question. I want to know, because the card could already be on the table, that they need to send back out again. Okay. What is it that you're trying to get us to remember through downloads? Okay, so firstly I have got that we are being told to wake up, 11:11, so 1111, remember, and it's the awakening. So they're trying to wake us up, trying to get us to remember something. Now it is something to do with the timeline changing or moving, so a change in the timeline or moving, almost like they're trying to put us on a different timeline. Okay, so we're charging up here. Okay, we've got a positive vibration, and I feel like that's happening simultaneously. So simultaneously, okay, what I'm feeling here is timeline. So we've got timeline card, and it's saying that so simultaneously we're running a positive vibration and a negative vibration. That's what they want us to remember. We need to charge up or boost our energy. And we're being brought back to karma. So karma, reincarnation wheel, but I'm feeling karma. So it's almost like we have to let go of karma or finish karma or accept karma, forgive karma. So it's almost like that's going to charge us up and keep us on the positive timeline. It's almost like, and they're happening simultaneously, it's saying. So that's what we're here to remember. We're here to remember that at this time has started running two timelines simultaneously, a positive and a negative. So it's important now to charge up our energy. Okay, anything else? Ascension, leveling up. Pray, we keep getting the pray card. Pray is all about gratitude and giving thanks and gratitude and focusing on the positive things, being grateful and thankful for all the positive things. And also it's like the seated earth. So the seated earth card brings me back to what I read on 3 weeks ago with why the aliens are all coming back. Checking on human creation. I'm being drawn in this, okay, what I'm being drawn to in this card is, it says human creation Genesis, so the Genesis. Now why I'm really drawn to that, wanting to talk about Genesis from the Bible, is because we had the deluge and the flood card in that spread. Okay, tell me what the outcome is on the positive. Okay. Tell me what the outcome is on the negative timeline. Worst case scenario. What is the outcome for the worst case scenario negative timeline? If we're running two timelines, what is the outcome for the worst case? Okay, so it's saying it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's saying there's a caution about that. It's missing. So missing does not exist. Soulmate connection. But we've got the abundance card that's come out there. Why doesn't it exist? Why does it not exist? Okay, I'm going to ask you directly. Is there two timelines running at the moment? Is there more? No, I should rephrase that. Is there more than one timeline running at the moment? is really interesting. Okay. What it's saying is that there's... Okay, I'm going to hold these 3 cards up. Okay, what it is saying is that when I've asked is there more than one timeline, it's saying for the light side in this spiritual warfare, this spiritual battle that's taking place, there is changes or transformations coming. So so it will be opening up. So for leveling up, so I've pulled my battery went flat. I just replaced it. What's happening on the other timeline? It will be different. It'll be different to the ascension and the light side. Now okay, here's my feelings on this. It sounds like hopium to me. That's why I wanted to ask, because it just sounds, I don't know, almost like waiting for alien ships to come up and take you away from this world. It feels like hopium. It just doesn't feel, I don't want to say nonsense, but it was in the cards. The cards said it. And that's what I'm trying to do is tell you that the difference in how I feel versus what the cards are saying. So if it was what I was feeling, well not feeling, what I was thinking, like on a logical way, I think, that whole 3D, 5D Earth or 2 Earths or that kind of thing, sometimes to me kind of feels a little bit like hopium. I'm not sure if I believe it. Sure, it sounds good, but I just don't know. I just don't know about it, that's all. There's enough people. I do strongly believe in vibration. I've got to say that. I strongly believe in vibration. I believe that the world that we are in functions by the vibration that we put out. So if we're all putting out good vibration, or it affects the way we're living, or it affects the world that we live in. If we're all putting out negative vibration, then it could cause like chaos and just civilization collapse, or earthquakes and natural disasters and all of that kind of thing. So that's my personal opinion on where I stand with that. But the cards are saying that there's something going on with timelines opening up or changing for the light side, because it said in the cards the light side are ascending. So the cards said it. So, and that's showing my kind of, like, do I believe in that? I'm not sure. I do absolutely believe in vibration and positive vibration if everybody puts that out. But do I believe that there's going to be 2 Earths? Well, I don't know. But the cards seem to say that there is a opportunity for opening up or transformation that's going to occur for the light side to be able to ascend. So that's what the cards said. Now, on the negative side, on the opposite end of the scale, on that timeline, this is saying that our DNA will be changed, fractured, broken, made worse for those people that are sitting in that negative energy. So it's going to be, it says time wrong, but manipulated time. So, or manipulated. So that can be manipulated. Now what I'm getting out of this card, it says breakthrough, but it looks like it's locked in. So what it looks like to me is that they'll be trapped or locked in. And it's going to be different to the other timeline. So we are going to be on different timelines. That's what the cards here are saying. Different times. But we also have the energy work there as well on that one there. Okay, any other final questions for this read? Any other final summary on this read? Okay, so it says expect the unexpected, relating to new technology, opening up and changing. So transformation changes coming that are unexpected, related to technology. That's what the final word is on this reading. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week.